listening to Combat Sports UK.
Combat Sports UK.
Welcome back to Combat Sports UK YouTube channel. My name is Brandon and I am joined today by Dan Evans. This is the first rendition of a new series we're going to do where we look at the bold predictions of this fight card. We're going to be looking at those sweet 50k bonuses and trying to predict who's going to get them. Fight of the night and performance of the night, that is the bonuses we're going to be looking at. We'll kick off with fight of the night. It's UFC 311. There's so many good fights on this card. It is completely stacked. What a card to start the year. Dan, who do you think fight of the night will be?
Like you said, this is a great way to start the year, and I've of course gone for the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan. I don't know how you can look at this fight card and don't think this fight is going to be unbelievable. Like we said, this is 6 years a rematch in the making, and it's both men who have improved so much in that time. Both men have really come on leaps and bounds, especially in the striking department. Islam now looking for the fourth defense against Arman, a man he's beaten previously. This fight is one for the grappling lovers, but it's not just that. I think the striking fans can really tune in and expect an excellent fight here. And this fight here, I don't even think it's just going to be fight of the night. I think this is an early, first main event of the year. This is a fight of the year contender. This will set the standard. This is the fight you're going to be comparing to every time you get a great fight through this year. I think both men are going to be back and forth. I think it's one that will go to the judges. I think it will go all the way. That's why I've got it as my fight of the night, because I see many fights through this card, but I can see finishes in those fights. Now, like I said, fight of the night, you want it going all the way. You want to see as much of it as you can. So I think this is going to be an excellent fight. Back and forth. I think this is going to be the tightest title fight of the year. It's my pick for fight of the night, and I think it's one of the most obvious ones you'll see this year. Yourself?
I don't think anyone can turn their nose up to that one. Such a close fight, very high level. That is a very respectable pick. I'm going for something different. I did consider the main event. I was looking at Renato Moicano in there against Benel Dariush. Moicano he's been putting on a show the past couple of fights. Kevin Holland taking on the Dutch Knight. That's an interesting matchup. Kung Fu against a submission specialist. But none of them are my fight of the night prediction. I am going for the light heavyweight bout between Yuri Prochazka and Jamal Hill. This intrigues me massively. There's so much on the line, so much at stake in this fight. It's Jamal Hill returning for the first time since that viral KO, that moment that's been spoke about so many times in UFC 300, the one where some might say Herb Dean got an assist for it, some might say it didn't make a difference, but this is Jamal Hill's first time returning since that fight. Yuri Prochazka's first time returning since UFC 303, where that same man, Alex Pereira, knocked him out with that vicious head kick. Both former champions, both unbelievable contenders in the light heavyweight division, and there's just a lot at stake in general here, because for these guys to stay in title contention, they have to win this fight. This is a must-win fight. Jamal Hill has done a hell of a lot of talking since that UFC 300 knockout as well, which he seems angry. He seems like he wants to prove himself. He talks a lot of shit, don't get me wrong. Jamal Hill, I don't know if there's a fighter that talks as much shit as what he does. I think it might pay its dividends here. Like, he is coming out angry. He's coming out with a point to prove. The MMA community it's not that they've turned on him. He does get a lot of hate. He seems to let the hate get to him at times. So I think he's going to use that to fuel the fire in this fight. He's brought a lot of pressure on himself here by doing so much talking. As I said, he has to win this to stay in title contention. If he loses this fight, he's going to be slipping down them light heavyweight rankings pretty quickly. And he hasn't been overly active as well. So, and he does seem to be a bit injury prone. So again, a loss here for Jamal Hill could be massive. A win here for Jamal Hill sets up that rematch with Alex Potan Pereira, which is a fight that I don't think anyone would turn their nose up at seeing again. Stylistically as well, that's looking at the kind of mechanics of the fight, but stylistically, this is excitement personified. Both really good strikers, very entertaining. Some might say they're both a bit reckless at times as well. Sometimes attack is more important than defense for both of these fighters. That makes a great watch for us fans. Yuri Prochazka has never won to a decision in his UFC career. Jamal Hill is part of many great knockouts, whether he's on the receiving end or the one dishing them out. Look at the power he showed in that against Johnny Walker is always the one that comes to mind. Vicious power in that fight. Yuri Prochazka obviously has the touch of death as well. These guys are going to go at each other, and to me it is a case of the first one to land clean wins. So that is why I'm picking this as my prediction for fight of the night. I can see it maybe going 1 round, 2 rounds maximum. You'll have to watch the picks video to see who I think will win it. Moving on to the performance of the night then. Do you want to kick us off, Dan? Who have you got?
Well, I've got the one man that I think everyone is looking at when it comes to performance of the night. This kid is, this 2025 could be the year of this man, Peyton Talbot. He is one of the hottest prospects in the sport. I mean, what better way to start the UFC career off? 3 fights, 3 wins, 3 great finishes. It's a real special performance from him. Barcelos he's a banana skin. He is. Like I said, he's a really, really tough, wily veteran. But for Peyton Talbot, this is your chance now. Big statement finish, and your rankings are next. I think Peyton Talbot could really quickly rise up to a bantamweight title shot because of that unbeaten record, which I think may stay there for quite some time. The talent that is quite clear to see, and then people say the aura, the personality that, you know, there's a really, really famous Dana White line, which is, you want people to have that thing. Peyton Talbot, he has that it factor. People want to see him fight. For bantamweight, this could be your new Sean O'Malley. I mean, Sean O'Malley versus Peyton Talbot 2026 could be like an unbelievable fight. You know, just you look at like I said, look at the mechanics of that sort of fight. That would be an excellent fight in years to come. So I think Peyton Talbot, this is his moment now to kick the year off with an absolute bang. But I think Peyton Talbot's my pick for performance of the night. I think it's going to be a great KO, and I'm reckoning first 5 minutes for it, definitely.
He's picked up that performance of the night bonus in his last 2 fights, so would be rude not to choose him for 3 in a row.
Exactly.
Just on Peyton Talbot, before I give you my pick, you're just talking about having the it factor, and he really does have it. I remember his last fight against Yanis Gamori. He's got a very, very good YouTube, Peyton Talbot. His social media presence is kind of what is driving this media hype behind him. Well, obviously he's doing it in the cage as well, which helps, but his social media presence is a big, big part of it. As you say, he's got interesting takes. Yanis Gamori is a French speaker, doesn't speak English. Peyton Talbot, before the last fight, put a video on his YouTube, and there was a section of that video just thrown in there randomly where he's standing in front of a whiteboard and he's telling Yanis Gamori how to beat Peyton Talbot, and he says through leg kicks. So the fight starts 15 seconds in, Yanis Gamori, and the thing is, he done it in a French accent. That there's what I forgot to say. He done it in his native tongue, which is even better. That's when Conor McGregor is slabbering the Jose Aldo in Brazilian, same type of shit. But anyway, Yanis Gamori comes out, throws a leg kick, as Peyton Talbot said. Peyton Talbot sends one straight down the pipe and KOs him 19 seconds in the fight. That is the X factor that you're talking about. He's in with a shout for performance of the night for sure. For my bold prediction, performance of the night, he loves money, he needs paid, he can't afford to lose. Renato Moicano. I think he's going to come home with a performance of the night bonus. Last time out we seen him at UFC Paris, he completely silenced the crowd, beating Benoit Saint Denis. It was a doctor stoppage, but Jesus man, that was brutality. That first round took him down straight away. A lovely, very technical takedown. Took him down and ground and pounded the hell out of him. Renato Moicano 2024 was a great year for him. Obviously before that, Jalen Turner, UFC 300, a great comeback win. The reason I'm saying performance of the night here is not just based on Renato Moicano and where he's at in his career, it's also looking at the polar opposite form that Beneil Dariush is in. These two guys have very similar records. They've both been in the UFC for over a decade, but they're both at very, very different stages of their career. Renato Moicano couldn't have asked for a better 2024. We never even seen Beneil Dariush in 2024, but in 2023 we did see him twice. 2 first round finishes against Arman Tsarukyan and Charles Oliveira. He was on the receiving end of them. They are at the top of the lightweight division, you know, but it was just the fashion he was finished in. He didn't really put up much of a fight, taking a year out, just over a year out, and I just don't really see what he's going to be able to do. The in-form Renato Moicano. So that's why I am going for Moicano for my performance of the night bonus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this video to see who me and Dan have picked for the full main card. Go and check that video out too. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure to like, share and subscribe to Combat Sports UK, and we will see you in the next video.